Hello everyone, today we are going to learn
Chapter 1 Natural Resources and Their Use Part 2 from your Social Science textbook.
In this video, I'll be covering each and every line from the chapter so you don't miss anything important. Make sure to keep your notebook and pen ready and take notes while watching. This will help you remember the concepts better. You can pause or rewind any time to write things down. So, let's begin.
Distribution of natural resources and its implications. Natural resources are not evenly distributed across our planet or even within countries. This uneven distribution shapes human settlements, trade patterns, international relations, and conflicts too. Many wars have been fought and continue to be fought to gain control over natural resources. So, natural resources like water, minerals, oil, forests are not evenly spread on earth. Some places have more and some places have very less. Because of this uneven distribution, people tend to live in places where water is available, fertile land is present, and jobs and resources are available. Then, countries exchange resources from one country to another. That is, one country may have oil, another may have minerals. So, they trade with each other. Countries become friends when they help each other or face tension when resources are limited. Sometimes countries fight to control oil, land and water. So natural resources can even lead to wars. So remember, uneven distribution of natural resources affects where people live, trade and can even lead to conflicts between countries. Let's explore. Observe the map in figure 1.11. Notice the uneven distribution of important minerals. What types of resources are available in your region? How are they distributed? Here you can see different minerals like coal, oil, iron ore and bauxite. And these minerals are not spread equally everywhere. Some places have more minerals and some places have very few or none. This is called uneven distribution of resources. Now you must think about your area. What natural resources are found near you? Oil is found in limited regions such as Mumbai High, Ankleshwar, Kalol, Bassein, in Assam, Digboy, Naharkatia, Ugurjan and Moran. So oil is mainly found in western offshore areas and northeastern regions. Iron ore is found in Ballari, Chitradurga, Kudramukh, Ratnagiri, Goa, Tumkur, Chikmagaluru and Durg, Chandrapur and Bailadila, Mayurbhanj, Kionjar, Goa. So iron ore is mostly found in southern and eastern India. Coal is found in Makum, Janji, Bokaro, Jaria, Raniganj, Korba, Talcher, Singareni and Neyveli. So, coal is mainly found in eastern and few in southern and central India. Bauxite is found in Katni, Amarkantak, Bilaspur, Koraput. So, these are mostly in central and eastern regions. So, resources are not evenly distributed. Industries located near natural resources create employment opportunities for the local people. Townships grow around them and expand economic opportunities for others too. More modern facilities that improve the quality of life become accessible. However, these benefits are often accompanied by cost in the short term as well as in the long term. We have examples from across the world of people living in resource-rich areas who have been displaced from their homes to facilitate such developments. In some cases, their sacred places are under threat, leading to conflicts. So, this paragraph explains both the benefits and problems of industries being set up near natural resources. When industries are located near natural resources, jobs are created for local people, townships and cities grow around industries, economic opportunities increase, and modern facilities improve life. That is, schools, hospitals, transport, etc. But there are also negative effects. People may be forced to leave their homes, that is, displacement. Communities lose their traditional land and livelihood. Sacred places may be affected or destroyed. And this can lead to conflicts and protests. So development brings both benefits and problems, especially for people living in resource-rich areas. National and international trade depend on the geographical location of natural resources. Combined with human knowledge and skills, these can create unique products like the wood steel. As we know, trade fueled the development of large empires in India. So trade, both national and international, depends a lot on where natural resources are found. Different places have different resources, so they exchange goods with each other. For example, a country rich in minerals may export them, while another country may export agricultural products. Now, natural resources alone are not enough. When they are combined with human knowledge and skills, they can create unique and valuable products. A great example of this is wood steel. It was a special type of high quality steel made in ancient India. It became famous all over the world. This shows how resources along with skills can give valuable products. Also, trade played a very important role in history. In India, trade helped in the growth of large and powerful empires. Rulers became rich by controlling trade routes and resources. So, we can say that natural resources not only support life but also help in trade, innovation and the rise of civilizations. Figure 1.12, Shared waters of the Brahmaputra river. The Brahmaputra river flows through different countries, so its water is shared by many people. It begins in China, flows through India and then enters Bangladesh before joining the sea. Because many people share the river, countries must cooperate and manage the water carefully. If one region pollutes or overuses the water, other regions downstream can also be affected. The Brahmaputra river is known by different names in different regions. In China, it is called Yarlang Sangpo. When it enters India, it is called the Brahmaputra. In Bangladesh, it is known as the Jamuna river. So here different countries use the river water for drinking, irrigation, fishing, transport and generating electricity. Let's explore. Select any two natural resources, gather information about their availability across different parts of India, mark them on a map. What do you observe about their distribution? What are the types of economic activities connected with them? So now you need to select any two natural resources and find where they are available in different parts of India and mark those places on a map. Write down your observations about their distribution and mention the economic activities connected with them. So iron ore is found in Ratnagiri in Maharashtra, Goa, Chikmagaluru, Kudramukh, Ballari, Chitradurga and Tumkur in Karnataka, Goa in Jharkhand, Mayurbhanj and Kionjar in Odisha, Durg and Bailadila in Chhattisgarh, Chandrapur in Maharashtra. Economic activities: iron and steel industries, machine manufacturing, automobile industries and construction activities. Coal is found in Jharia and Bokaro in Jharkhand, Korba in Chhattisgarh and Talcher in Odisha. Janji and Makum in Assam. Raniganj in West Bengal and Singareni in Telangana and Neyveli in Tamil Nadu. Economic activities: thermal power generation, iron and steel industries, factory and industrial production. And observation about their distribution: natural resources are not evenly distributed across India. Iron ore deposits are mainly found in the plateau regions. Coal is mostly found in eastern and central India. And industries develop near these resource-rich regions because raw materials are easily available. So you need to mark the following places on the map of India. Discuss the implications of extracting the natural resources in those parts for current and future generations. Suggest ways in which we can use nature's gifts in responsible ways. So here you need to explain the effects of extracting natural resources on people and the environment. Discuss how overuse of resources can affect both present and future generations, and also suggest responsible ways to use natural resources carefully and sustainably. Implications for current generations. Mining and drilling can cause deforestation and destruction of habitats. Air, water, and soil pollution increases near mining areas. Local people may lose agricultural land and face health problems. Overuse of resources can lead to environmental degradation. Implications for future generations. Non-renewable resources like coal and petroleum may get exhausted. Future generations may face shortage of energy and minerals. Environmental damage and climate change may increase. Loss of forests and biodiversity can disturb ecological balance. Responsible ways to use natural resources. Use natural resources carefully and avoid wastage. Promote recycling and reuse of materials. Increase the use of renewable resources like solar and wind energy. Plant more trees and protect forests. Follow sustainable mining practices and create awareness about conservation of resources. So, natural resources should be used wisely so that both present and future generations can benefit from them. Nature does not pay attention to political boundaries. This leads to tensions regarding the sharing of natural resources across states as well as countries. One example is the sharing of Kaveri river water among Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. Negotiations and debt management were required to maintain peace and fair sharing. Of course, reaching such agreements between neighboring countries is not easy. So, nature does not know human borders. Rivers, forests, mountains and the air move naturally across regions and countries. They do not stop at state or country boundaries drawn by humans. For example, Kaveri river flows through Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Puducherry. All these regions need its water for drinking, farming and daily use. So, sometimes one state may want more water and another state may feel it is not getting a fair share. This creates tension, disputes and conflicts. So, states must discuss and negotiate and manage water carefully and share it fairly. This requires cooperation, smart planning and mutual understanding. And this is much harder when it is between countries. Between countries, different governments are involved and each country has its own interest. So, reaching agreements becomes more difficult. So, natural resources are shared by many regions. So, cooperation is necessary for peace and fair use. Let's explore. Find out about such a conflict in the international context. Discuss your findings in the class. So, now you need to find an example of a natural resource conflict between countries. Explain why the conflict happened and describe its effects and how countries try to solve it. And then you need to discuss your findings in class. Figure 1.13 Mettur Dam in Tamil Nadu built on the Kaveri River. The Mettur Dam is built across the Kaveri River in Tamil Nadu. The dam stores river water and is used for irrigation, electricity generation and water supply. As the Kaveri river flows through different states, all of them depend on the same river water. So, the states need agreements and discussions to decide how the water should be shared fairly. This helps to avoid conflicts and maintain peace. The natural resource curse. Having abundant natural resources does not guarantee economic prosperity. Some regions rich in natural resources can experience slower economic growth and development, a phenomenon economists call the natural resource curse or the paradox of plenty. Put very simply, this means that often having plenty of natural resources does not automatically mean that a country is rich. Frequently, economists are unable to develop industries that convert the resources into products of higher value. The chapter Factors of Production in the latter part of this book will give you an understanding of this. So, you might think that a country with a lot of natural resources will always be rich and developed, right? But that is not always true. Sometimes countries that have plenty of natural resources actually grow more slowly. This situation is called the natural resource curse, also known as the paradox of plenty. Even if a country has a lot of resources like oil, minerals, or forests, it does not automatically become rich or developed. Some countries only extract and export raw materials, and they do not develop industries to make finished or high value products. For example, Nigeria has large reserves of petroleum and natural gas, yet many people in the country face poverty and unemployment. So, although it earns money from exporting crude oil, industries that convert oil into high value products are not sufficiently developed there. This shows that having abundant natural resources alone does not guarantee economic prosperity. So, natural resources alone do not guarantee prosperity. Proper industries, technology, skilled labor, and good management are also necessary for economic development. India has generally avoided this curse by investing in the development of such industries to meet our growing needs. So, India has generally avoided this problem. But how? Instead of only exporting raw materials, India has focused on developing industries. These industries convert natural resources into useful and valuable products. For example, iron ore is converted into steel, cotton is made into textiles, and agricultural products are processed into finished goods. So, this means more value is added to the resources, more jobs are created, and economic growth improves. Also, India has invested in skills, technology, and industrial development. So, what is the result? India is able to use its resources effectively. It supports both development and growing needs of people. This shows that proper planning and development can help a country avoid the natural resource curse. Let's explore. What do you think are the different inputs required to enable the use of the natural resources available in different geographical areas? So now you need to think about what is needed to make natural resources useful. Natural resources alone are not enough for development. Different inputs such as people, technology, and industries are required to extract, process, and use these resources effectively in different regions. However, the challenge of balancing resource extraction with sustainability remains. Understanding and managing natural resources is a valuable starting point, but human knowledge, good governance, and strategic planning determine whether they become lasting benefits or temporary windfalls. So, even though we have natural resources and the ability to use them, there is still a big challenge. How do we use resources without damaging the future? That is, we need to balance resource extraction, that is, using resources with sustainability, that is, protecting them for the future. Just understanding resources is not enough. What really matters is how we manage them. This depends on three key factors. Human knowledge, that is, people must understand how to use resources wisely. Good governance, that is, governments should make fair and effective rules. And strategic planning, that is, long-term thinking to avoid overuse. If these are done properly, natural resources can become long-lasting effects and they can support development for many generations. If not, resources may be used up quickly, benefits will be short-term only, and future generations may suffer. So, the real goal is not just using resources, but using them wisely and sustainably. Responsible and wise use of natural resources. Stewardship. Stewardship means taking care of something responsibly. In this case, it means protecting and managing natural resources wisely. Sustaining life on earth requires that we respect nature and use natural resources in a way that enables the restoration and regeneration of renewable resources and the responsible and judicious use of non-renewable ones. So, to sustain life, we must respect nature and use resources carefully. Now, natural resources are of two types, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources can be restored and regenerated, but only if we use them wisely.
For example, if we cut trees, we must plant new ones. If we use water, we should avoid wasting it. And non-renewable resources are limited and take millions of years to form. So, we must use them very carefully and sparingly. We should avoid unnecessary use and try to find alternatives like renewable energy. So, the key idea is use renewable resources in a way that they can recover and use non-renewable resources responsibly and judiciously. This balance helps in protecting the earth and ensures that life continues for future generations. Scientists studying these aspects have warned that the irresponsible treatment of natural resources has led to pollution, biodiversity loss, and climate change, which has been taking place at an increased pace in recent years. Biodiversity loss, the decline in the variety of life on Earth. So, biodiversity means the variety of life on Earth. It includes plants, animals, and microorganisms. Biodiversity loss means the decline or reduction in the variety of life. In simple words, fewer types of plants and animals are left on Earth. Scientists have given us an important warning. They say that the irresponsible use of natural resources is causing serious problems for our planet. First is pollution. Air, water, and land are getting contaminated due to industries, vehicles, and waste. Then biodiversity loss. Plants and animals are disappearing because their habitats are being destroyed. Third is climate change. The Earth's temperature is rising, leading to problems like extreme weather, melting glaciers, and rising sea levels. And the most worrying part is these problems are happening at a faster rate in recent years. And why is this happening? Overuse of resources, deforestation, excessive industrial activities. So, scientists are warning that we must change the way we use natural resources and we must act responsibly and protect the environment. Only then we can slow down these problems and ensure a safe future for life on Earth. Restoration and regeneration of renewable resources. Here are two examples of how we are pushing the use of natural resources beyond their capacity to regenerate. So, we learned that nature can replace some resources, but it needs time to do so. Today, humans are using many natural resources too quickly and excessively. We are taking more from nature than it can produce again. Because of this, resources may decrease, get damaged, or even disappear in the future. Now we are going to see two examples to show how human activities are putting pressure on nature's ability to recover. Many farmers in our country extract groundwater for irrigation purposes. In most states, the extraction rate is greater than the rate at which the water table is replenished. Over time, this deficit builds up, leading to higher cost of extraction of groundwater and eventually to its unavailability. It has been predicted that many of our growing cities will run out of groundwater soon. Initiatives to raise groundwater levels have been launched to remedy this. Traditional practices of water harvesting, rejuvenation of ponds and tanks, cutting down on wasteful consumption of water, processing and reusing water are some of the strategies attempted. So many farmers use groundwater from wells and bore wells to irrigate their crops. Groundwater is the water stored below the surface of the earth. Below the ground, there is a level where water fills the spaces between soils and rocks. This level is called the water table. When it rains, some rainwater slowly goes into the soil and refills the groundwater. But today, in many places, people are taking out groundwater faster than nature can refill it. Imagine drinking water from a tank continuously without filling it again. Slowly, the water level will go down. In the same way, the water table also falls. As the water table goes deeper, wells and bore wells need to be dug deeper. Pumping water becomes more expensive, and after some time, groundwater may become unavailable. Because of this, many cities in India may face water shortage in the future. To solve this problem, people are trying methods like rainwater harvesting, restoring ponds and tanks, reducing wastage of water, and recycling and reusing water. These methods help increase groundwater levels and conserve water for the future. Similarly, the improper use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides has led to soil degradation. Traditional farming practices considered soil to be part of Mother Earth. Practices like the use of cow dung and other natural fertilizers, mulching, multi-cropping and so on enabled holistic soil management. We must learn from these practices and apply them in our current situation to prevent further degradation. We need to replenish and rejuvenate our soil. So just like groundwater, our soil is also facing serious problems due to misuse. One major reason is the improper use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. When too many chemicals are used, the soil slowly loses its natural fertility. This is called soil degradation. Soil degradation means the quality of soil becomes poor, it becomes less fertile and crops do not grow well. In earlier times, farmers used a different approach. Traditional farming practices treated soil as part of Mother Earth. This means they respected and protected it. They used natural methods like cow dung manure, that is, to improve soil fertility, mulching, by covering soil to retain moisture, multi-cropping, growing different crops together. These methods helped in holistic soil management. It means taking care of the soil in a complete and balanced way. These methods kept the soil healthy and full of nutrients. So, if we keep using chemicals too much, soil will become poor. So, we should go back to some of these old natural practices and take care of the soil by restoring its fertility. We need to protect the soil today so it can support farming in the future. Figure 1.14, crop failure on account of injudicious use of chemical fertilizers. So, this figure shows how excessive and improper use of chemical fertilizers can damage the soil and affect crop growth. Instead of improving farming, too much chemical use reduces soil fertility over time. As the soil becomes weak and unhealthy, crops do not grow properly, agricultural production decreases and farmers may face crop failure. It also highlights the importance of balanced and careful use of fertilizers. It also reminds us that natural and sustainable farming practices help maintain soil health and protect agriculture. So with this, we have completed the part 2 of the chapter Natural Resources and Their Use. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.